Hello, today we've got a piece that's great fun to play, suitable for all levels, with or without a looper. We'll be developing our rhythm, our mastery of the major pentatonic scale, and we'll look at a few functions of the RC3 looper pedal that I'd never used before. This is trips. First I'll lay down the rhythm track and then I'll put some major pentatonic lead over that. The chords are easier than they might sound, and it's one shape for every chord we play. So imagine a major with the bar chord. Just lift off the bar so that the E and the B are open. Nice rich chord. So that B would make it a ninth chord. The E is the fifth, it's already in the A major anyway. For that sound, I'm lifting my second finger off the G string. So all three bottom strings, or top strings, are open. Now I don't know whether this is 2-4 or 4-4, but either way it's 1 and 2 eander, 1 and 2 eander, 1 and 2 eander, 1, 2 eander, 3 and 4 eander. And experiment using different sets of strings, maybe start on bass strings. And broaden it out as you go. Let's call that 1, and there are 4 of them before we go up to D. 2, there's 4 of those up to D, same shape. So the open B would make this D major a 6th chord. I don't think we play that open either. Same again, lift off the second finger. So you lift your second finger off, but you're deadening the G string. You don't play an open G string. You finish on the 4th string, 12th fret. Down to the 2nd fret, which is F sharp. And that's interesting because you're playing the open B would be the 4th, so it becomes a sus4, except that you're not supposed to have a 3rd in a sus4. So this is a sus4, F sharp, sus4, with a 3rd, and even that's the 7th. So if anyone could tell me what that chord is. It's got a first, a third, a fourth, a fifth, and a seventh. Up to the G. Chromatically up back to the A major. Okay, we'll be using the major pentatonic scales. For beginners, you might know the minor, A minor pentatonic. The major pentatonics are all the same shapes, but you're landing on a different tonic. So that shape, the tonic C, would be on the 8th fret. I play with my 4th finger. And one trick to learn any scale is to choose a famous tune or bass line or lick and play it up and down the neck. For example, My Girl by the Temptations. That's a good way to learn any scale. So we're in A major over the A major chord. We'll be using the A major pentatonic. We'll be going. So starting on the 5th, sliding from the 7th to the 9th. So we're just using frets 7 and 9 from there. So that would be a slide down from the 9th to the 7th. Okay. Before we go up to the B, we'd go. You don't do the slide, you want to land using your first finger so you can slide up to that T. So very similar, but it's and then the last bit is a slide up to the 14th fret, back down to A. If you listen to the track I recorded, you'll find I vary that. I go. I do various things, you'll see. Before we land on the F sharp, we go A, slide up to the 4th fret on the A string, 2nd fret, open A, land on the F sharp, same again, land on the G. So you're given a choice of 2 settings when you do this. Unplug. I've got my amp right on 0 because I don't want to damage it, and I've also got the tuner on so it doesn't. Finger on the tap button, plug it in, the power. You've got a choice between P and D. I think the D is overdubbing and the P is playing. Let's see what it sounds like on D, overdubbing. So it went straight to overdubbing. I didn't have to press it again. The other setting on P goes like this. Now I have to press it again if I want to record, overdub. So if you want to minimize the amount of stomps, you put it on D. The other settings I tried that I hadn't looked at before, there's no unplugging stuff here. Tap tempo down for a couple of seconds. You get to choose between normal, which is what I had, default setting. That's where you have to press, as soon as you start playing, you press down. There's auto, which it'll start recording as soon as you start playing, so that was quite handy. And the one I used was count in. I press down, it'll give me the count in. After the count in, it'll start recording. 2, 3, 4. So that was a really handy setting that I'd never seen before.